helping people realize that you have to restore to the level of the burnout. See, we're not that far removed from slavery. Nope. So we work, and we might take a day off, but we need a week off. We need a month off. So think about a cell phone, right? If it gets down to red, you have to plug it in or it's going to burn out.
Yep.
We just keep going and we wonder, why am I burned out? But when you look at your schedule, you don't have rest. You don't honor the Sabbath.
New season, new energy, realer, raw, more powerful than ever. This season, we're pulling back the curtain on what it truly means to lead with purpose, live with grace, and keep going when life tries to knock you off course. We're diving into the leadership that transforms lives.
I'm Kelley Cornish, and this is Life and Leadership Unplugged.
Hello, and welcome to Life and Leadership Unplugged with Kelley Cornish. We are the podcast of the T.D. Jakes Foundation. Our crew is amazing, and we always look forward to these episodes of trying to bring life and leadership, and then also a piece of unplugging into your day. So thank you for joining this episode. I am excited to have with me a guest that I've studied, I've watched, I've followed. He doesn't know this, but he is going to share some insights with us. It's Dr. Alduan Tartt, and he is a psychologist, an author, a faith-based mental health expert, and a minister. So please help me welcome him to the podcast. Welcome, Dr. Tartt.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, it's great. I love your energy. I love the smile and just everything I know you're going to bring to this conversation. So thank you for taking time out of your day.
Hey, I'm glad and humbled to be here.
Yeah, well, this is good. So, here at the T.D. Jakes Foundation, we decided to take a page out of everyone else's playbook, sort of, and just come into this podcast world. But specifically, as I mentioned in the opening, to talk about life and how you do it with leadership, and then how do you kind of come off the rails a little bit, unplug, and then jump back into leadership. So we're going to talk about that. And when I did some research on you, I realized that your work has truly impacted so many lives. And I'm excited to talk about that with you today and then connect that back into leadership, just purpose and peace. So you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So Dr. Tartt, you've helped leaders, families, and organizations navigate pressure and change. And when we think about today's world, that feels like a 24/7 thing that's happening. For those who are unfamiliar, what inspired you to dedicate your life's work to mental health and relationships?
I'm what's called an empath. A lot of people, you just feel people's energy. So in high school, I could just feel people. And so someone was sad, someone was depressed, someone didn't have enough clothes. I would just feel that. I didn't see how other people weren't bothered by that. Like, you clearly see they're not good. And so I would be the kind of person that would go, you sure you're good? You're not moving the same way. And I learned in high school, maybe junior year, we had a psychologist. His name was Dr. Alduan Tartt. He is a legend, a Morehouse professor. He came and spoke for Career Day. And I was like, I want to do what you do. Right. He said, I get paid, I don't know how much he said, but he said he gets paid hundreds of dollars an hour to help people with their problems. And I was like, I do that now for free. I want to learn more about that. And we had a conversation. And ever since then, that was God sending me in a direction. I just thought I was nosy. That's what I was known as, nosy. Our people would just come to me with problems. And that's what my family is anyway. Yeah. So I just enjoyed it.
That is amazing. I'm thinking about what you said and some of the other conversations I've had with leaders, and two things resonate. One is it's something that triggers in the 11th grade when someone comes in for Career Day. I've heard that a number of times. But secondly, it was someone that said something that literally helped change the trajectory of your life or push it forward. Can you talk about that a little bit more on how important it is to have people come in and just help you realize sort of what you know, but really to confirm sort of what was in your spirit?
Right. It's called exposure therapy. Right. When you expose someone to what they want to be, you can't erase a picture. You can't erase a vision. Without a vision, the people perish. With a vision, the people flourish.
Yes.
So you can talk to someone about what they want to be, who they want to be, but if you don't see it. And so I had access here in Atlanta,
Yes.
with Morehouse and Clark Atlanta and Morris Brown and Spelman and Georgia State and University of Georgia down the street. This was a psychology hotbed. Everyone has a psychologist. Maybe next to LA,
Right.
where I used to live, maybe New York, but Atlanta. So I saw black psychologists. I saw black male psychologists. And we were only like 1%.
Wow.
2% of the total population of all psychologists are black male. And then you start talking about black male in a faith space, that's down to like less than 1%. But I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that and I said, okay, I want to do what you want to do. There was a brother by the name of Dr. Richard Muzan who had me come by his office. And I said, how do I do this? And he just broke it down in 45 minutes. He put out a notebook. This is how much you need to charge. This is how you get on insurance panels. This is how you do it. This is how you decide what to do. Go work at a community mental health center for 1 or 2 years. Figure out how they do it. Right? And then the receptionist, the people that were billing, I was like, how did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? Come work for me. I'm going to be out this piece in about 2 years. It actually ended up being a year because I got fed up with the dysfunctional government system for providing care. And I went ahead and just did it on my own. Right there in Kirkwood. That's where I started.
That is amazing. So curiosity is another thing that I hear from great leaders. Like, I wanted to know, like, how do you do this? And you took the time to talk to someone about it. And then that just literally put you on a track of entrepreneurship, basically, of saying, I want to do this. So you often say that emotional wellness is leadership's secret weapon. What do you mean by that?
Right. So you're talking to people. You're talking with people. And I see a lot of, let's just say, men who succeed in leadership, but they fail at home, right? But they were never taught how to be leaders, or they were taught something toxic that you have to pay the cost to date the boss, which means I'm going to be gone. But then your family's going to be gone. But then your kids are not going to be a chip off the old block. Right. And I was able to, a lot of this is just serendipity from meeting men, talking to men as a psychologist every day. You get the cheat code. And I saw men who excelled in leadership only and their families fell apart. And then I saw men who excelled at home and in leadership.
Wow.
And I noticed that they were intentional about both. Right. They have, say you're in a board meeting, they'll leave and say, it's my daughter, I'll be right back. Or, hey, we can't meet on Tuesdays. That's my date night. Wow. Or, hey, I need to be out of here by 7. I promised my kids that I would take a walk with them or I'd do homework. And so I saw them schedule their family and dictate that to the church, the business, and the church and business actually respected it. But if you don't have boundaries, you don't have that blocked off.
That's right.
You'll look up and realize you're taking calls 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, walking out to dinner on your family. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah, and you'll end up losing your family. But you can do both.
You can. You mentioned something about boundaries. Does that come up a lot? I'm sure it does in the work that you do. Explain a little bit, because I think we hear it, but sometimes people just kind of roll past that. But talk about healthy boundaries.
Yeah, it's a property line that divides me from you and allows my house to be able to flourish, your house to be able to flourish, and we can be neighbors, right? But if I don't have a property line, and anyone has access to me all of the time, that's one, low self-esteem to a degree, a low self-concept, that I am whatever you need me to be without first looking at myself and what I need. All right. And so a lot of times that's a trauma response. So we know about fight, flight, freeze, but no one talks about fawning, right? Fawning is where you people please. Right? You grew up. Your value was who you were to your mom and dad. Take care of your little brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter if you want to run track or have an instrument. We need you to do this. Or if you had to please dad because he was an alcoholic, right? You had to walk on eggshells and make sure he was good.
Yeah.
And so your existence. And so you grow up realizing that I have to perform.
Wow.
I'm a performer. And if you don't fix that, can you see how you walk into corporate America, they'll abuse you. You walk into a narcissistic relationship or someone who's self-absorbed, they'll abuse you. You walk into entrepreneurship and your clients take up all of your life. You don't have any boundaries for yourself. But no one ever treated you as someone who didn't have to perform. You could just be. My kids don't have to do anything. I'm going to go pick him up in school, even if my son is bad. And he has been, right, last week, right? I'm still going to pick him above anyone else.
Right.
He doesn't have to perform.
Right.
But a lot of people don't have that luxury. And so if we don't set boundaries, and we didn't have our boundaries affirmed by our parents or even first partners, it's very difficult because you think that's the norm.
You do. So, gosh, I could really unpack all of that, but I don't want to go down a different path. So you work with people who carry a lot, which means, and you probably trained yourself not to now, but I'm thinking maybe in the early days that you would probably internalize some of that. So you work with people who carry a lot, success, responsibility, expectations. How do you encourage them to reset before the burnout hits? Like before that train wrecks. Like, how do you encourage them? Because I know you see it coming.
Yeah.
So thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, and it happened during COVID, right? I learned about COVID before anyone else did. Right? Most psychologists did. I had a doctor call me from New York on the phone. I was like, what are those people on the floor? Man, what's going on? He was like, I need to talk to you. And I was getting back to back phone call from funeral directors, right? Pastors, morticians, ER docs, emergency response personnel. They were seeing this first, right? And so they had access to this. And so when you start thinking about it, like healthcare burned out, ministers burned out, emergency response burned out, firefighters, police burned out, psychologists burned out, right? Because they are getting this on the front lines. And at that point in time, it's like the funeral home. Psychologists are always busy. It's never a down season.
Right.
Holidays, super busy. Beginning of the year, people want to change, always busy. All right. Right now, people furloughed, right? Yeah. Right. I have husband and wives who are both furloughed, looking at each other like,
wow,
we broke.
Right.
We have kids in private school and neither one of us getting paid, right? So that burnout is real, right? So one, helping people realize that you have to restore to the level of the burnout. See, we're not that far removed from slavery. Nope. So we work, and we might take a day off, but we need a week off. We need a month off. So think about a cell phone, right? If it gets down to red, you have to plug it in or it's going to burn out.
Yep.
We just keep going and we wonder, why am I burned out? But when you look at your schedule, you don't have rest. You don't honor the Sabbath. You don't have, you don't restore. I used to work for the NBA, and anyone knows an athlete, you have to get them to recover. Right. You have to get him or her to restore. So that's one. You have to restore to the level of burnout. So think like a phone, get back to green. We don't tend to do that.
No.
Number two, you can't go back to what burned you out. You're going right back to the same relationship that's burning you out. You're going right back to the same church that makes you usher first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Right.
And Wednesday nights.
Right. That happened to me one time. I said, but I was late to the church work. I was a psychologist for 30 years, with ministry for 7. I was like, I need a break.
You do?
I did 8, 11. I'm not coming back at 5. I'm going to watch the football game. I don't. They looked at me like I was crazy. I didn't know you could say no at church. I was used to saying no. They were, I was like, I'm not here. My kids want to go home.
That's right.
Right. We're out.
That's right.
Right. So you can't go back to what's burning you out. And so for a lot of entrepreneurs, this is what I did. I looked at, what do I not like doing? What do I not like doing? Let me farm that out and focus more on what I love doing. And the burnout went down. And as psychologists and ministers,
yes,
we have to manage this, because what a lot of people experience was something called compassion fatigue. Well, I can't care. I'm trying to care.
Right.
I'm saying I care.
Yeah.
But I'm so burned out. I just did 4 grief sessions and you're the 5th one. Right. And I'm having to fake words. I'm having to find compassionate words. What used to come natural and normal, you've been burned out. And it's because of self-preservation. You can't feel too much to where you break down. Well, you're not a very good psychologist or a minister, right? If people can't feel you, they can't feel that you feel them, that's not good. And so a lot of psychologists and therapists and ministers had to take breaks and respites. And you see this now. Yeah. You have a record number of pastors stepping away saying, I need a break because I'm having compassion fatigue.
Yeah, you're making me think about, I mean, and that's sort of the genesis of this podcast. A couple of summers ago, I hit a wall, and
Okay.
I thought like I could just push through. And it was my amazing leader, Bishop T.D. Jakes. I met with him one day. He's like, I know something's wrong. He's like, I feel it. Like, I see it. I know something's wrong. And I need for you, I love what he said. I'll never forget it. I need for you to go and get with God and deal with it. Because I don't need you at 25%. I need you at more than 100%. And I was like, oh, I mean, you hear him say that. You're like, oh my gosh, okay, I probably need to go do something. But and so I did. And so I ended up taking a little over 30 days off.
Good for you.
But I didn't realize, I thought it was going to take a couple of weeks, come back. But I realized after it took like the first week, it was still like, is this happening? Like, am I really off? And it literally wasn't until like 2.5 to 3 weeks in that I was not tired.
See?
I didn't realize I slept and I slept and I slept, and I had no schedule, and I didn't realize how much I needed it. And then by like the end of the third week, I mean, I was well, the CFO of our organization called me. He's like, are you going to get on the plane? Are you coming back?
You're like, I'm good.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll be back. Like, I'll be back. And by the time when I was preparing to come back, I was ready to come back. And I came back with such energy and such a new vision for life. And the thing I walked away from that thinking was, you either sort of kind of proactively do it, or you'll be forced to do it. Now, if I go have surgery, they're going to tell me to be home for 6 weeks. You can go do that. But your mental health and your emotional, your physical, your fatigue, and you're right, I didn't have any compassion. I realized I was breaking because I was so direct, and I had no empathy for anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand that, not from a minister's perspective or a psychologist, but someone in the grind every day. You know what I mean? In a different way. And I had just left corporate, after 37 years, and sort of took like a couple of weeks off and then jumped into a new role thinking, oh, this is different. This is fine. But I hit a wall. And so, life happens, and, you sit in the seat every day where you see life happening to people all the time. And so when you talk about to give yourself as much time to restore,
Right.
as I'm trying to complete
As the burnout.
As
right?
the burnout.
So I'm down at
Right.
20%, right? And think about it. We're just talking about work. Let's talk about if you're a parent. Let's talk about if you're a single parent. Right? And you're taking care of your mom and your dad. This is what people are dealing with in real life. It's multiple things, and you're running companies, you're over a division, or if you own your own business, you're responsible for writing the checks, right? You're responsible. The checks don't come in, they're calling you, right? And so we can easily press ourselves into, well, these checks not going to write themselves. These babies not going to raise themselves. No one's going to take care of my parents. And that's all true. But what we tend to do is we tend to press through.
Yep.
And if you look at the people who have it figured out, right, they 10x versus 2x. Okay, so with 2x is, let me just do it harder. Let me just get up at 5 a.m.
Right.
All right, let me just get up at 4:30 a.m. And what's funny is, I'm an early riser. I'm up at 5. You can text me at 5 o'clock, and it's not gonna offend me. All right, I'm gonna be on the elliptical doing something. All right, my word. Right. But now my son, he's 3. He's up at 5. I'm like, bro, this is not gonna work. Right. No, sir. Go back to bed. Right. But he's up. So that's 2x. But 10x says, I need to expand I need to have a team. Right? Because 2x is all it's going to do is wear me out. Right? But that's our first mindset, is to grind. But you rarely see Jesus, if ever, grinding. No. He's taking a nap.
Yes.
When he was sitting down talking to the priest, and the sinful woman came in and was giving him a massage with her hair, and he was like, how you going to let the sinful woman give you a massage? Like, you didn't even give me anything to drink. Right. You didn't even offer me anything. Right. She's taking care of me. Right. She's taking care of my needs, and Jesus let her. He's modeling to us. Now, if he was never in a hurry, if he was never running, if he was never rushing, We don't have the right system. And if we're going to do this God's way, it's administrating our businesses in a different way, to where we're bringing in someone to do. This is where I am right now, and it also corresponded with burnout. Like, why am I doing my own marketing? Why am I doing my own, Canva thumbnails?
Right.
Why am I editing my own videos? Why am I, right?
Right.
And that stuff is cool. But I like running my mouth, right? I like writing. I like creating. I like sermon prep. I like meeting with, ministers and thinking about different ways they can do ministry. I like to be forward facing.
Right.
So I farmed out a lot of stuff that's on the back end.
That's really good.
And that allows me to 10X versus 2X, because I actually have more time to do what I love. And people can tell the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to go to a break in just a minute and come back and pick up on a couple of things. But something that you said, I think for someone, even same thing like with entrepreneurship, or if you're in ministry, when you're working and you're in leadership, that teaches you how to delegate. Like, if you can 10X yourself, you've landed. That is one of the huge pieces of success. But I get it, like, trying to start something up and trying to get it going. But I am proof that if you pause and you reset yourself, when you do get back in, you will make up for all that lost time and some. Because I remember coming back, my team was like, you can't leave again, because like we're way busy, like it's busy. And we've been running since I took the time, but it's needed. So when we come back, I want to jump into a couple of things around community transformation, and then also how you reset.
Okay.
Everyone who's listening, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll return shortly with Life and Leadership Unplugged with Kelley Cornish. It is the TD Jakes Foundation podcast.
Times are tough. Unemployment is up, and too many families are struggling just to make ends meet. But at the TD Jakes Foundation, we believe that no challenge is too great when a community comes together. We're empowering people with education, workforce training, and access to opportunity. And today, you can become a part of that change. It only takes $5. That's $5 to make an impact, $5 and tag 5 friends to help open doors for someone's future. And thanks to Wells Fargo, the first $1 million raised will be doubled. That's right, your $5 instantly becomes $10 of impact. Join the Power of 5 by texting Power of 5 to 53555. Together, we can change lives.
And welcome back to Life and Leadership Unplugged with Kelley Cornish. I am excited to be back here talking to this amazing expert, Dr. Alduan Tartt. And I say that because I have to be mindful in thinking about all the work that you have done. And in the first segment, and then during the break, I'm listening to how your career has escalated. And so you can't just like roll by that. You have to go, oh my goodness. You mentioned during the break, and I know you don't talk about it a lot, but you started off like, and I almost want to call it like family therapy, because you started off with younger people, and now you've moved into couples, and just to see the whole dynamic of family play out and what's needed. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. When I first started, I wanted to work with children.
Wow.
But it was kind of for selfish reasons, because you can fix them really quickly. Right.
Really?
I was trained in brief therapy. When I first started, we had 3 to 6 sessions, HMOs, 3 to 6 managed care. That's all you get. Right. They're not fixing 6 sessions. Oh, well. Right. You have to show improvement in 3. So that's how I was trained out in, Los Angeles. And so I dealt with children, gang violence, foster care, abuse, juvenile court, you name it. And I wanted to work with high-risk consumers.
Okay.
Right? So you can imagine a black man walking into this space. I got all the cases, but I was here for I like drama. I was like, oh, this is a nice little caseload, right? And Friday, Saturday night, my phone would blow up every night. I was out in Inglewood. When I moved back here, I was out in East Lake. I knew my clients, right? When I came up, the kids in the neighborhood thought I was a parole officer.
Really?
Right? Yeah, because I pull up and it would be my client, right? Who wanted to hurt himself or was acting out or was having a psychotic break or whatever. And I was hospitalizing them, right? Or calming them down in the crisis unit. So, I started with that. And then parents started saying, I need to talk to you. because what you helped my kid with, I'm struggling with.
Wow.
Right? And then it led to, I used to work for the Oklahoma City Thunder, work for the NBA, and now probably maybe 25% of my clients are pastors.
Really?
Pastors. I did not ask for that.
So let me ask you, did that escalate after COVID?
Yes. Yes. Well, one, my name got out, right? That I was not a traditional pastor. So I don't pastor a church. I'm over at Word of Faith Family Cathedral with Bishop Dale C. Bronner. I'm a minister there, right? And so they would call me and say, I need to talk to you. And I would say, why would you want to talk to me? You just talk to any other minister.
Right.
And you know, being in it, ministers don't talk to other ministers about their personal business.
No.
Right?
No.
I learned that. I was green to that. And so I see a lot of ministers, just one, because I'm just on the outside enough of ministry. And then two, they can sue me if I talk about their business.
Right.
So they don't have to worry about trust. They don't have to worry about me going behind the scenes or changing up the speaking. Like if I'm a minister and I come to you and talk about my marriage, you're not going to invite me to your next marriage conference to speak. Not on purpose, because you told me there's things behind the scenes. Right. And so ministers are very, very sensitive to that. So I realized that in working with ministers, you're helping the whole church stay together.
Yeah.
Because who can they talk to?
Right.
And sadly enough, and I work with, Bishop Jakes on this campaign, ministers are in the top 3 with suicide. Suicide. Because think about it. If you're a helper, I don't need help.
Wow.
I'm the helper. And so I'm going to try and deal with this on my own. And then if I come to you, Pastor, you're not blessed and highly favored? You run out of faith?
Wow.
All right? You're not in your word?
That's right.
All right? So that's it. So that's difficult. But pastors are human. Right? In the Bible. You know your word. Jeremiah, Paul, all of them were depressed. They were depressed.
Yes.
So Elijah. So giving them a place to be able to talk. But you know what's interesting? I didn't realize that's what they were doing at first. Right? So they would invite me up there to preach. And I was like, man, I can preach, but I can't preach. I would pick someone better than me at the time. I was like, man, I'm gonna do my thing. But I really would have called Joseph Walker, T.D. Jakes. Like, I'm looking at the lineup in a revival, and it's like, my name doesn't fit. I'm real,
I get that.
And they don't want me to do mental health. I'm just like, okay, all right, mental health, no one can beat me. Well, I'm not gonna say no one, right? But I'm in that space. But you want me to just preach on, okay. Then they said, let's go to dinner. I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to chop it up. And that dinner was a therapy session. All right. Wow. So they would bring me in.
Yes.
And have a reason to pay me. Right. And this is just saving face and say, hey, we need to talk. But I was okay with it. Right. But at first I was green. I was like, okay, this is a regular dinner. Why are we in the back? Why
we in
this is weird, right? But okay, maybe.
Right, yeah.
Right? So I realized from being able to support ministry leaders, and it's not just head pastors, it could be, you know how it is in church, right?
I do. Very well.
Yeah, so I was excited to be able to do that. At first I wasn't, because I was like, man, that seems like a double load. But then I thought about it, like, who can pastors talk to? And this is a blessing.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, you were gifted for it. You are gifted for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot on the line. I wanted to impact the people who impact people, right? And so I like high stakes, high stress, clutch situations. Wow. You talk about like burnout. I like excitement. If something is boring, I don't want to do it. I don't.
You run to the fire.
Someone has to put it out, right? But as you can see, my personality, I'm kind of here for it. Right? I had a problem in my earlier life with girls like that. When they be going up one side of me and down the next, I like it. I was like, all right, I'm not going to talk to her anymore. That's how you feel. So, yeah, I needed that. So I do like high energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you have a lot going on. How do you relax? And what do you turn to? Who do you turn to?
I set boundaries. I do set boundaries. So, of course, if it's an emergency, any doctor's going to be available.
Sure.
But people know, hey, I have a answering service. If you need to get in contact with people. But people know my family time, right? So, one, it's advertised. Like I went on a date last night. All right, the kids are at the grandparents', for fall break. We went on a date.
Yeah.
Right, because I realized I watched men I respected lose their families. And I realized that could be me, right? And so I started looking, and so setting strong boundaries. So dating my wife, spending time with each one of my 3 kids, right? The whole group thing doesn't work, especially when they're different ages.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah, so being part of the activities, and then I want them to be a chip off the old block.
Yeah.
Right? Right? So otherwise you'll see that. You'll see that you can speak, but your kids can't, but you never taught them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So like I was PTA president. Isn't that crazy?
I love it.
In elementary school, I was,
Yes.
So I wanted to be involved.
Yes.
Right? And spend time with my son, and our daughter is at Howard. Our oldest daughter's at Howard, so I'm flying up there to speak to class. She's like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "I'm trying to see you, girl. I was just in town. You want to go get something to eat?" And she's like, "I can eat, right?" But I want to be involved, so blocking that off. But I had to put that on my calendar. Right, until I put it on my calendar. And then I realized I had to put on something. I got this from the book, 2X is better than 10X, CEO days, to where I need time to think about what I'm doing. I need time to hear from God about what's next. Because I can easily go from pillar to post too. But then I look up, I didn't help my kids out with their homework. Now the teacher's calling.
Right.
I didn't help my daughter with volleyball.
Right.
Right. The poster presentation was weak.
Right.
Right. I was like, what is this? A C? I didn't help her. I didn't have time. I can't. That's disrespectful to our family. We're bougie about grades. Right. I just can't. Son is 3 and, getting in trouble because I didn't tighten him up. You know what I mean? Right. So I realized, and then, wife.
Yeah.
I know men are her DMs, right? Let's just be, every man would be honest. Your wife, people in your wife DMs, right? So I need to pay attention, right? So I realized I'm going to have to, but it's real. I have to balance. When you're in therapy and you see people, you're like, oh man, that's a problem for me too. Let me tighten that up. So I realized I had to balance those things because I didn't want that to fall apart.
Yeah, that's good.
I would rather business fall apart than my family.
That's so good.
I can fix business.
That's right.
Right?
That's
but
right.
family, that's way more difficult. And if I'm not I realize if I'm not having enough fun, if I don't have it scheduled, that's not good for me.
Yeah.
There's times I don't want to be Dr. Tartt.
Yeah.
There's times I just want to be Alduan.
Yeah.
Right? And so I will go to the game. I will go to conferences. I will be around people who carry the same weight as I do. Right? Because we know not to ask each other for favors. And I mean, you still don't be there.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Right.
I do. I have, my team wouldn't believe this, but I do have my blocked off time and I use it well. It's not a lot of time, but it's enough for me to just shut down and focus. And whether it's early morning, whether it's my devotional time where it's just me, which I protect that time, or it's, just hanging out or going into one of my happy places in my backyard, or just finding that time. And I love what you said about anybody that's leading something. They need that CEO time. You have to think about what you're thinking about. I always say that all the time. Have you thought about what you're thinking about? Sometimes it's healthy, sometimes it's not healthy. But you have to take the time to figure out what it is, right?
That's right. I'm blessed that God has given me a sense of security. I think that comes from counseling and people saying thank you. To where if I work around more talented people, I don't want that light. I'm like, good, I'm never going to do that again. Right? Like someone called me to pray, right? And I got sick. I could not make it. I felt terrible. And I suck it up all the time. I was like, I can't make it. Turns out I had a gallbladder infection. Right? That's how crazy I was. Like, I'm going to be there. Let me take some more Tums. I'm going to be all right. Tums not working, right? All right? And my wife went, right? And I said, man, I'm sorry. I mean, do y'all like that? But I was last minute, and they were like, bro, don't take this the wrong way. We did not miss you, right? Your wife tore it down, right? Your wife, and I'll be honest, I can prayer? I'm all right, right? I'm all right. I wouldn't pick me for a prayer breakfast. I'm like, you want me to speak? Well, if you want a prayer breakfast, I'll call about 9 different people who could do it better, right? And so you want my wife to do that. Right. So I'm gonna delegate. If someone's better than me, I don't feel like they're taking my shine. Right? Like if you can speak better than me, I'm like, look, I was gonna do this interview, but then I met you. You need to talk to them. right? So I like being around, and I draw on the energy of really talented people. I don't get insecure when someone comes in with a superior gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just move out the way.
I love it.
Or step up.
Or step up.
Right.
One or the other.
Right.
That's right. So my last question for you, and then I want to move into what my hope is for you as you move forward. If you could leave every leader with one reset ritual, what would it be? Outside of the boundaries.
Okay. All right. Block off time where you're fed. Right? Block off time where you're fed. I can't tell you how many pastors I've sat in their office right before they preach, and they're looking at someone else preach. I was like, why would you do that? They were like, man, I'm preaching to myself. Right? I need someone to preach to me.
Right.
So taking time, because that's how we burn out, thinking that we have to be everything to everyone. But take time out for yourself, and also time out for your family. Allow them to be able to restore. So that's what I would lead every leader with. You can do both. We serve a big God.
Yes,
you can do both and.
Right.
You can be great at business and great in family, but it has to be intentional.
I love that. And that will keep us from putting him in a box. Because like you said, he's just a great God and he has it all figured out. So we just need to quiet our spirits to allow him to speak to it. So well, thank you for that. Dr. Tartt, this has been wonderful, and I wish we had more time. And I mentioned when we were prepping for this that I'd like to close each podcast with an affirmation or like a hope for you. And so getting to know you, my hope for you is that you continue to bring the joy and energy that you bring into every room. My hope is that you have the rest that's needed for you to bring what you bring. I know it seems like it comes natural for you, but you're human, and like anyone else, you have to refuel and you have to reset. And my hope is that as you continue to feed into other people, that your spirit stays strong, because I do understand what burnout, and sometimes it'll creep up on you, especially when you're a giver and you seem like you give a lot. Rightfully so, to your clients, to your community, to your church, to your family, your wife, your kids. And so my hope is that you just continue to find those spaces to reset so you can continue to bring the amazing energy you bring into a room. And we thank you for that.
Thank you. That's definitely in the spirit.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes. So your turn.
All right. My wish for you, I'm going to take a risk here, is that you be surrounded by the company that you desire, who delights in you shining, who wants to be security, who's okay, not even okay. They are excited about what you do. They're a servant.
Wow.
They're a servant. And so I'm excited about that energy coming to your life, and also your territory expanding, right? Being able to be seen, and because you have very high expectations for yourself, for there to be no difference between how you see yourself and reality, right? And I'm excited about that expansion of territory while honoring your space. That is actually easier, less time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about both of those.
Wow, Dr. Tartt, thank you so much. And
welcome.
I really take the time to receive what people say to me. Many times we don't. People just, again, try to kind of move by it. But when I go back and I listen to this, I really pause it, and it settles into my spirit. And so I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And so I would like to thank you, Dr. Tartt, for joining us. This episode will change lives. I know that it will. And I want you to continue to do what you do, because the world needs you.
Thank you.
They really
world
really
needs
do.
you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of Life and Leadership Unplugged with Kelley Cornish. We are the podcast of the TD Jakes Foundation, where we are in the business of creating a world where every community thrives. And again, we'd like to thank Dr. Tartt for joining us. You'll have a great day.